Hello and welcome. I'm SAG-AFTRA Vice President, Actor Performers, William Charlton. Thank you all for joining us for the SAG-AFTRA live stream on YouTube. To stay informed about all of our live stream and video events, we invite you to subscribe to this channel. You can go ahead and do that right now. Just hit the subscribe button. We have two American Sign Language interpreters with us today, Hope Simon and Nicole Pancino. Hope and Nicole will be switching off periodically throughout today's discussion. Today, we present the President's Task Force on Education, Outreach, and Engagement live stream Meals and NDBs for TV theatrical background performers. This is a follow-up to last week's presentation on Meals and NDBs when working as a principal performer, and you can watch the replay of that presentation right here on SAG-AFTRA's YouTube channel. As I said last week, the more you know, the better, and knowing rules on meals and non-deductible breakfasts is important to everyone working this contract, and I'm thrilled to host this second presentation in this two-part series. Today, we are breaking down what you need to know about meal breaks when working as a background performer under the TV Theatrical New Media Contract, also known as the CBA, the Codified Basic Agreement. As a reminder, today's program is being recorded and you can watch the replay right here on SAG-AFTRA's YouTube channel, along with tons of great and informative content. Today's presenter is SAG-AFTRA National Director, Background and New York Entertainment Contracts, Stephanie Perry. Prior to assuming the role of National Director, overseeing the Background Actors Department, Stephanie supported members for nearly 2 decades through several positions at SAG and SAG-AFTRA as a business representative, manager, director, and senior director of entertainment contracts, where she oversaw administration and enforcement of all entertainment agreements. Before her service to the union, Stephanie held legal business affairs and contract roles at various entertainment conglomerates such as 4Kids Entertainment and Marvel Inc. Hello, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you so much for taking time out today for today's Meals and NDBs presentation. We're talking about food, so let's dig in.
One of my favorite topics. Thank you so much, Bill, for that wonderful introduction. And I'm delighted to be here and talk to you all about meals and NDBs in connection with background performers employed on TV and theatrical projects. So let's dive right in. The meal period. The meal period is typically anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. It is the producer's election as to how long it will be. There is a first meal period break that should be given within 6 hours of the background actor's call time. Then there's a second meal period that is called within 6 hours from the time of that you return from the first meal break. Keep in mind that lunch is deductible unpaid time for the background actor. And also know that the meal does not have to be given exactly on the 6-hour mark, but within that time period starting from your first call. And that first call can be for hair, makeup, or wardrobe. To give an example, a producer can call background actors to work for a 6 a.m. call and then break them for a 1-hour meal at 9 a.m. if they so choose. They do not have to wait till noon. That's fine, but keep in mind that the meal period would now need to occur within 6 hours after that meal has ended, which would be 10 a.m. And then the next succeeding meal period would occur. Now let's talk about our 2 graces. There is a contractual grace period, and there is a tad bit of confusion surrounding this. The first grace period, it's 12 minutes in duration, and it may not be scheduled. So you should never come to SAG, see it written on the call sheet or anything like that. What's important to know about the grace period is that this is always implemented prior to any meal penalties occurring. The second grace is actually when production is in the middle of the take. It is fine for them to continue with taking and completing that take as for how long it will be, and there will be no penalties accrued. One of the things to keep in mind when it comes to grace, there is no formal requirement for an announcement to be made, but it is helpful to let background performers know what's going on. Uh, Meal penalty violations, also known as MPV. And these are the penalty payments owed to background actors when they are not given a meal period. It is $7.50 for the first half an hour, $10 for the second half an hour, and $12.50 for the third and each half an hour thereafter. Keep in mind that the clock does reset for each meal. So again, if you're called at 6 and you're given basically your meal period at noon and you don't receive it until 1 o'clock, you will receive your violations. And then your next succeeding meal period will be within 6 hours from 2 p.m. when that hour meal period has ended. And then the meal penalty clock will restart again if you're not given that at the appropriate time. What is a non-deductible meal, an NDM or an NDB? An NDB is also known as a non-deductible breakfast. And it's really important that you understand in the background contract schedules, the purpose of giving background performers an NDB is to synchronize the meal period with the crew. That is a difference from the principal performer contract. Background performers are given this non-deductible meal break for 15 minutes only. And what's important to realize is that this is your time as a background actor. You are free from all activity within that first 2 hours. That's the other key. The 15-minute non-deductible meal must be given within the first 2 hours of the background actor's call time. So I'll give you an example. If background actors are called to work at 6 a.m., the latest that NDB can be given to you by the producer is 7:45 to 8 a.m. It cannot be given past 8 a.m. It cannot be given to you starting at 7:55. So what's the other things that you need to know when it comes to meals and NDBs? Only one meal period can actually be deducted during the first 8 hours of a background actor's workday. So if you have a very short day and you are being dismissed at 8 hours on the clock, you should only see one meal period deducted. I've often heard, is it true that crew can eat first? Yes, crew can eat first as they normally do if they have a shorter meal period. Reason being, they may need to come back immediately to set up for the next scene, so they are allowed to go through the meal line first. Meals and beverage parity with cast or crew. So it's very important to understand that what the cornerstone of our meal period for background performers is parity with the cast or crew. That means whatever the cast and crew receive, background performers will receive. This includes all meals, other food, such as the infamous crafty truck, and beverages. If you ever do see that hideous sign that says cast and crew only, no background performers, that is something that we really encourage performers to contact the union so we can address. That is not parity. That is not giving the same to all performers. Water is completely separate, and that should always be provided on set at all shooting locations, even if background performers are at a location where crew may not first be reporting to, there should always be water on the set available. Meals should always be well-balanced and nutritious. Pizza, hot dog, hamburgers, those were not adequate, well-balanced meals. My children would probably disagree with me, but the meals should always be wholesome, nutritious food. And hamburgers, hot dogs, and pizza, that is not an actual nutritious meal. That is a snack, and that will not constitute as a meal. And if any of you are concerned about my children, rest assured they will be brought into the contractual fold. Tables and chairs should always be made available during an NDB or a non-deductible meal. Again, this is your time. You may want to be on your phone. You may want to write in your journal. There may be many things that you wish to do, and having tables and chairs so you can sit down comfortably eat your food, attend to any matter that you would like would be essential. The first meal period would now start within 6 hours at the end of an NDB that has been called. Walkaways. We do hear about this quite a bit. Remember, parody is the cornerstone of the meal period for background actors. Whatever the cast and crew receive, the background actor will receive. If the producer gives a walkaway to cast and crew, which they can do, then background actors will receive the same. If there is a monetary meal allowance given to the cast and crew, then background actors can also expect the same. Never assume that a meal will be given because of the fact that the producer can do a walkaway, and we're always looking for the identical provision to be furnished to background actors as it is for cast and for crew. We have come to the end of the presentation, but if you do have any questions, please always feel free to email us at backgroundactorsinfo@sagaftra.org. We also have a Background Actors Digest available online at www.sagaftra.org, where you'll be able to read many of these other rules that I've just discussed. Thank you.
Am I unmuted now? Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Stephanie. That was a great presentation. I really appreciated that. Okay, I've got some questions, and thank you everyone for sending in questions. We're gonna get through as many as we can here in the next few minutes. So, you ready, Stephanie?
I am.
Okay, question number one. As a background actor, can an NDB, non-deductible breakfast, be counted if I am not notified at the time of the NDB?
No, and I'll tell you why. One of the requirements of the non-deductible meal is that this is your time where the background actor is free from all activity. If you are unaware that an NDB is given and you are in hair, you are in makeup, you are on compensable work time, and you are paid for that time, so you will not be given an NDB. Best industry practices, we always encourage productions to put up some type of signage. That's extremely helpful on a very large day, so background actors can see that an NDB is given and they are free to go on their phones, go back to holding, go outside if they're shooting on a certain location, or do whatever they need to do. The other question that I think is really ties into that too as well, that during that NDB, what type of food is given? And often we're looking at a hot breakfast type sandwich, an egg McMuffin type of thing that the background actor is able to eat in that 15 minutes, because it is a very short time. It should not go over that 15 minutes, and then be able to return back to set for work.
Great, thank you. I'm getting hungry. Here's another question. Does the producer have to provide a catered meal or breakfast during an early call time?
No, and again, one should never assume that a meal will be given. If there is any type of meal or any type of food provided, yes, absolutely, the same must be given to background actors. But there is a possibility that you could come to work and find that there is no furnished meal being offered.
Okay. Okay, here's another one. And thanks again. If background actors are asked to report to a different location than crew, but the catered meal is only available at the crew location, are background actors still entitled to receive the catered meal?
Absolutely, because of our parity rule. Whatever is furnished to the cast and crew must be given to the background actors as well. So the expectation would be, if the catered meal is at another location, the same catered meal should be furnished to the background actor as well.
Okay, that's good to know. And following on that one, is it okay for the crew craft table and the background craft table to have different items?
No, it should be the same equivalent. If there's chocolate chip cookies, some may disagree. I think that's the fan favorite over the oatmeal raisin. I'm not sure where you lay with that, Bill. I know that the chocolate chip tends to go the first and it's the most popular, but if it's the equivalent type of food, a macaroni salad versus a potato salad, that is parody. What is not parody is that, obviously there's steak, there's lobster, there's pasta for the cast and crew, and the background actors have the gourmet taco, which again is analogous to pizza, to a hot dog. It's not a wholesome, hot, nutritious meal.
Good, good. So I love these questions. I have the same questions all the time. If the meal is not catered, do I get a meal allowance?
That's a great question. And again, if a meal allowance is given to a cast or crew, then yes, it will be provided to the background actor because it's parody of the rule. It's all the same for each group.
Right. I have to tell you, I love that concept of parody, and I think it's an important one to emphasize continually that we're all equal. And okay, another question. Can the 12-minute grace period be counted if it is not announced to background actors who are on set or in holding?
Yes, there isn't a requirement that grace be announced. Of course, we always encourage productions. Background actors should know what's happening on the set, or even if they're in holding, so they should let them know. But yes, that would still count and be a applicable grace.
Excellent. Okay, great. I think that's all we have time for today. So we're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to say thank you on behalf of of actors and background actors to Stephanie for that fantastic presentation and for answering the member questions. For the rest of you, as a reminder, this presentation and last week's are available as replays on our YouTube channel, and you can watch them anytime. And on behalf of the team here at SAG-AFTRA, we would like to thank everyone watching for taking time out to be here with us today. Special thanks to each of you who have been tuning in each week for our President's Task Force on Education Outreach and Engagement live streams. If you have ideas for topics you would like to see us cover, please email us at pteoe@sagaftra.org. That's pteoe@sagaftra.org. Don't be shy. If you have an idea, send it in. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to SAG-AFTRA's YouTube channel to get updates on the great content we are posting. Thank you and have a great day.